This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
There's not many people who have been in the biz longer than us, but this man is one of them.
Oh, my God.
Been on Channel 7 for 30 years.
Has a cheese named after him.
He's been a stalwart on Sunrise. He's been to 13 Olympics, if you don't mind.
It's unbelievable.
The one and the only, Mark Beretta. Brett, welcome.
Oh, legends. How are you? G'day, Nathan. G'day, Nat. G'day, Shaun.
Hey,
30
mate.
Hey, Mark,
years.
amazing stuff.
Amazing
Yeah.
stuff.
When you're on national TV and you get a cheese named after you, you've made
Are you
it.
serious?
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
you might be able to correct me here, but is there a Beretta shotgun? That's a thing?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
The third oldest industrial family in the world make those beautiful sporting shotguns
Yes.
for the Olympic Games.
Is
Yeah.
there a
My dad
Beretta
was a-
hat? No, it's a beret.
That's a beret. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, I was looking at all the stuff that you've done, which is amazing.
So
We just
much.
mentioned the 13 Olympics and, the Bathurst, Sydney and Harbours and all that kind of stuff. I did not know that you're a 10-time Australian water ski champion.
I knew. You are,
My
aren't you,
Lord.
It's a long time ago, and I loved it. Skied a fair bit in WA, actually. Frank Bonney's got a spot
Yeah.
down the road there,
Yep.
and we had national titles down at Albany, which was pretty cool.
So
few
were you
years
like
ago.
a
Yeah.
trick water skier, the ones, where you do all the flips in the air, or were you like a flat-out speed water skier?
No, I was tournament, so what they call slalom, tricks and jumps. They
Yes.
got the three events. You know, Burswood, the jump ramp
Yep.
is
Yes.
there,
Yep.
so that's,
Yep.
we use that a fair bit,
Yep.
yeah. My parents loved it. Well, I grew up in Geelong in Victoria,
Yeah.
and Mum and Dad loved to water ski, was their thing. And,
What?
Dad threw me over the side of the boat when I was 4 years old. He put a life jacket on the front and one on the back of me. I couldn't swim, so I started when I was about 4.5, and just followed it through. My claim to fame was
Yeah.
I taught Olivia Newton-John how to water ski.
Wow!
Hey, come on.
That was one of my greatest moments. I was working at a water ski centre in just outside LA,
Yeah.
and she would come out there. She used to love to ski, and she was with a guy called Matt Latanzi, who
Yes.
was Chloe's father, and they'd come skiing, and so they loved. The fact they could have an Aussie instructor. So,
No. She summer loved it. She summer loved it. Olivia Newton-John.
The transition from being water ski champion, like there's plenty of footballers move into the media. That's
Yeah.
not uncommon at all. But a water ski champion moving into the media, how did that transition happen?
Remarkably straightforward. So there's a big event in Melbourne called Moomba,
Yes.
and there's a big water ski tournament called the Moomba Masters.
Yep, know it.
And so I'd competed in that for about 8 years, and then as I started to really just die in the arse, basically, as a skier, I wanted to do commentary. I just loved the idea of sports commentary, and I love watching sport. So I approached Seven and said, "Listen, I'd love to have a crack at this." And
Wait, sorry.
I did a bit of that, and then I started off at Channel 10 doing the basketball.
Yeah.
And Eddie Maguire, a young fella called Eddie Maguire, who I was working with at Triple M at the time, Eddie took me to Channel 10, and eventually a job came up at Channel 7, and I went there in 95 and been there ever since. So,
That's
I don't know if you know, Eddie Maguire actually went on to quite successful. if you don't know.
He went on to be really successful, and I'm still working in sport.
Mark, the Army Reserves.
Yeah.
You're in that.
Yes, I am.
Something that really, interests
Yeah.
you? What do you... How does this work?
No,
Why?
Is
it
Why?
supporter?
I think is the question.
Yep. No, I'd always had an interest in it. I was interested in it after school, and I just obviously took a different road. And
Yeah.
it was funny how all these great things happen. I was then seeing an event for Army up in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Ended up in a pub at 2:00 in the morning, and I said, I'd always wanted to join, but I'm too old now. And they said, as a matter of fact, you're not. We'll see you Monday morning.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's when you go,
that was it. And then, but no, I love it. It's great. It's such a change from this other TV world.
Yeah.
Met some awesome people. It actually is a really great culture in there. So I love my time in Green. It's just it's a refreshing time.
Barretts, you must be pretty proud. It's an incredible career, and obviously you're not done. Like, you're still chalking up the years.
For
yeah?
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to go on a couple more if I can. Yeah. Look, I love it. It's a ripping job, as you guys know. I mean, being on there in the morning is great fun.
The best thing is waking up early, isn't it? That's the best part.
Oh, isn't that the best? Yeah, nice.
Yum. So, okay, all I need from you for this 30th year, I think that you need to do something. Let's go back to the roots. You need to be on TV showing us you can still water ski.
Yeah, okay, I can do it.
Oh, he can do it. He can do it.
That'll be great. You're funny, mate. I
All
like
right.
it.
Well,
Not at all.
Congratulations, mate.
yeah, it's a brilliant achievement, and of course, there's many more to come. Thanks for talking to us, Barretts.
You're very kind, legends. Thanks very much.
No worries.
Cheers,
That's
tell
right.
us on time.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
know.
Of course.
Oh, should water ski for Telethon. Water ski for Telethon.
We can make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
There's an article in the paper that really caught my eye, Nat, and you're familiar with this. 2 Fremantle cafes had to shut down last week, actually.
And they're not just any cafes. It's the cafe at the swimming pool.
Yes,
and it's
leisure
the cafe
centre.
at the Fremantle Arts Centre, which is
a lot of people go to the Arts Centre now,
That is such
particularly on the weekend.
Yeah,
It's
right.
quite
so
iconic.
It's delightful. The courtyard there, it's so beautiful.
That's nice.
And now that you can't go there and have something there.
There's some interesting cafes, aren't there, in businesses that you wouldn't really know about?
Yeah. Like the Arts, absolutely. Owner Gavin Wilcock, look, he put it down to a slight increase in the prices of sweet treats. See, what he reckons is that he had to increase the prices of croissants and other cabinet treats at the Arts Centre by 20 cents
20
in
cents a
December.
pop. Yeah, and people complained
And
so much.
people went off their head.
And
20 cents.
he said he knew that he was going to have to raise the price of coffee because, of course, the cost of coffee's gone up, and by at least 50 cents. And he went, people complain so much about a 20-cent extra on their croissant that I don't want to have to put up with
You
it.
know what?
I'm out. And closed like that. It wasn't like we're closing at the end of the month.
Yeah.
It was we won't be here tomorrow.
I
amazing,
feel for
isn't it?
these businesses because as a consumer, come on, it's going up 20 cents. You know what I mean?
20 cents,
Yeah.
And I know everyone's got their limit, but at the moment, you've got to realise a lot of these businesses have been absorbing those costs for a while to try and put this off. So when it's a 20-cent increase, that's not enough.
And there was so much whinging that he went,
So
no, I
much
can't even
whinging,
face
That's not
it.
enough. But did it take it over? You know, when people like everything was like $3.99, so it wasn't $4. Did it take it over a mental price
It must have.
threshold?
I think a lot of us have got a mental price threshold.
Yeah, because there's
definitely.
this bakery in the city I've been telling you about, and I absolutely love it. And I won't say their name right now because it's about the price. But this amazing custard filled croissant, right, on Uber Eats was $6.50. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing because these croissants are like usually $9. Then literally over a weekend, now they're $8.50.
Yeah, so
And
then-
now from that $2, even though I can afford it, I'm not buying one.
Yeah, it's a mental block straight
I'm not
away.
buying it.
Yeah.
Scotoma,
They
is that the right word,
hadn't
Nat?
even been there that long either because a year ago I was doing water walking at the pool because I hurt my knee. I was recovering from that, remember?
Yeah.
And there was no kiosk there. That
Yeah,
cafe
right.
hadn't opened yet.
Was
And
Dame
so
Judi Dench really
was
shocked
only-
too? That was in the pool next to you?
I made a lot of friends with old ladies
Aren't
with
that-
new knees, Nathan.
Aren't old ladies lovely? I had a friend at Danny Green's gym. She used to be on the exercise bike. I love old ladies. They're great. Sean, have you got any in your life?
No.
We digress.
Okay. But 20 cents, we're talking about just tipping you over the edge. You were just talking about the custard pastry, but there's sometimes you go, no, that's it. I've
So
had enough.
20 cents
It's
is
tipped me
tipped
over the edge.
It's tipped the customers over the edge, but the poor business owners, they've been tipped over the edge by one too many people whinging about
Complaining. He
it.
said they were all grumpy and I can't deal with it anymore.
You know what,
It's
though?
Wants to
quote
be with
unquote.
happy people.
It happens in relationships too. You know what I mean? Because things build up, things build up,
Yeah.
build up,
Yes.
and it could literally be,
Yeah.
he ate your twin pole.
And are we
Yeah,
really
that's it.
breaking
Yeah.
up because I wouldn't pick up my towel?
Yes.
Like, no, it's
Literally-
everything before that.
And people hang on that excuse, but it's the build up to
Yes.
that. But I love that excuse. She left me because I ate her twin pole. I met a guy when I was
It
doing
sounds like
radio
a
around
euphemism,
Australia
doesn't it?
that his wife, his girlfriend, stabbed him in the back with her high heel because he brought a cornetto, what is it, the drumstick?
Cornetto?
A cornetto back to because she was pregnant. A cornetto back home, and then when she opened it, the comb was broken, and she got that enraged.
Well, that's his fault. So
See? It's those small things that
Yeah.
tip you over
So
the
this
edge.
is
Nathan, Nat, and Sean in podcast form.
we love when this incredible
yes.
performer
This is
joins
why-
us here in the studio.
This is why today we're all wearing our pearls because we are ready to clutch them.
We're going to clutch hard. He is currently playing fabulously, I've heard, Herod in Jesus Christ Superstar. It's showing at Crown. Tickets from crownperth.com.au.
me?
Welcome back, Reuben Kaye.
Reuben, how you going, mate?
Reuben.
I'm thrilled.
Oh,
Wait,
we'll
they'll
turn
put
your
your
mic
microphone.
on.
Wow, the respect.
That's Sam, though.
Yeah, Sam,
he
no,
said,
Sam,
look,
Sam
I'll
just-
bite this bastard.
No,
Don't worry about
Sam
that.
just came
Sam,
from
am
the
I on
project.
yet? Am I on yet? Have you turned me on yet? I'm
Reuben.
dragged out of here and shot, or at least put in my bunker.
Now, this is amazing, right? This is amazing because we see sometimes reality TV stars, they go into musicals and stuff like that. But I don't think that anyone from your world of like cabaret and sort of loose shows in tents on the side of the freeway.
What did you call me?
Called the K-hole,
Yeah,
for
the
example.
K-hole. So, and you're now going into musical theatre. That is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Are you so proud?
I'm very proud. I'm proud. I'm really interested to see how someone like me negotiates this because suddenly I'm working in a huge business that has
Yes.
a lot of constraints on
And
it.
they've always played by the rules, and you don't know the rules.
And also,
Correctly.
it's a Bible story. I'm not sure if you're aware.
What? No, I never read the sequel. So
He thought it was the prequel to Harry Potter.
Of all the, I mean, it's not
right.
Priscilla. You know what I mean?
I just thought it was Voldemort with a cheeky wig.
You just said you were wondering how someone like you would be. Everyone's saying that you're the star of the show.
Yes,
Everyone says you're
they
this
are.
dark, and the show's going along. Everyone's playing with the story, and then all of a sudden you're the light.
Look, I am part of an ensemble of incredibly talented performers. And I
That
would
do
never
nothing
do them a
compared to
disservice,
you.
But I am the star of the show, and they are nothing. And the minute the show's over, they're dead to me.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be a sequel called Herod the
Herod,
Superstar.
Yeah.
Mad as hell and very cross.
So, what
like
did
that.
you think that world was going to be like, and what is it in reality?
So I did a musical in London. I did Evita when I was very young.
Wow.
And I got to say, I didn't have a great time. I thought it was really regimented. I thought it was really repetitive. I thought that it had like a weird high school element backstage.
Yeah, right.
And
Well,
it was
that
hierarchical.
clicky.
Yes.
And hierarchical. And you know, people like me, and
Yeah.
maybe even people like you, don't deal well with authority.
Yeah.
No.
But coming into this has been the exact opposite. The cast are so emotionally connected. We're all mates backstage, just getting each other through it and making sure that we're all amped up. The creative team let me have... Excuse me, sorry, I don't know who that was. The creative team let me have a whole lot of creative input into this.
Yes.
So I got to kind of fiddle with the costume. I got to redo the
love to
makeup.
fiddle.
How dare you? This is a morning show.
I mean, the thing is that
Nathan
you're
early.
and or Sean.
you're a renowned ad-libber. Like when you do your performance, your cabaret show, you're pretty much just
there's a
doing
lot on the
whatever you
spur of the
want.
moment.
Exactly, and going with the moment.
Yeah.
How does that translate to a
So,
scripted
I'll tell
musical?
You this. In rehearsal, I thought I'm just going to throw as many things out as I can and see what sticks. You'd be familiar. And there was a couple of moments when we like this one, this is too far, and I had to learn the gauge.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the gay.
Because of course in my shows there is no line.
No,
My shows, so going out there and I'm just going. I'm going.
Yeah.
You're
going. I
not
don't know
thinking
why.
about what's coming out of your mouth,
There's no
because if it's
filter.
more inappropriate and the better.
And
the
that's what people are
danger is
there
the
for.
excitement
Yes.
there, right? But this is a totally different thing. And this audience is also coming in to see something they know.
Yes.
They're there to see a musical. It's not necessarily the Reuben Kaye show. So learning that has
mean, it is,
been...
but
and yet, are any of the other people on radio?
I don't even know who's in it.
Exactly. So is that how you
you're in
keep
it.
it not from being repetitive for you personally?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
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 And I get a lot of chances because the audience, when I come out, the audience give a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to really live on that edge and give a moment there.
And you love to receive.
How dare you? Well, diet depending.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, do religious people go to a play that is based in religion?
Yeah, I think they
And
do.
how they going with you?
Do you know what? I think because I am framed in a context where they go, oh, that's Herod, he's the villain.
Yes.
They live for it, and it's fabulous.
Okay.
But the other interesting thing is I think a lot of people who might have heard of me through the project or heard of me through that scandal and built up this idea of me as a boogeyman, like, oh, that's Reuben Kaye. He just says things to get a rise out of people.
horrible.
He's immature. He's just...
Someone
he's a
hit him with the
hater.
crucifix.
Someone hit him with a crucifix, right? And then they see me, and once they're put in a room where I'm there, they go, oh,
Doing
he's
your
a human
thing.
being, and he's talented, and suddenly all of their presuppositions
Yes.
just
You know
sort
what
of
it
melt
is?
away.
Because a lot of people just met the scandal.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they didn't see what the person does.
And from that, they didn't even see it happen on the show. They just read the news.com articles about it and formed an opinion.
Yeah, and News.com, as we know, is a very balanced and fair
It's very
publication.
nice. Yeah, that's why I just
Right up there with the Daily Mail, Reuben.
They're doing so well.
What was the most exciting thing that you'll put into? For me, after my time in reality TV, I was one of the crossword questions in That's Life. And it was probably one of the greatest honours.
Oh, that's so
Have
nice
you-
of you to talk about you in my interview.
That's right. What have you been in? What have you been in, you arsehole? Which is another thing you love.
That's my favourite thing I've been in.
I don't
Snapped
even
up.
know Herod. Like, I don't know. Sean was giving me a bit of a rundown because I was
Well,
like...
I'm not a fool.
He was the king.
Because
Yeah?
I was like, we
That's all
we always hear about like Jesus and Mary and all those guys.
So you wanted the focus to be on
and
someone else.
I said, there's another side
Like a
character that
spin-off.
pops in, like a neighbour, that we, instead of following the biblical story, we could then just follow the biblical story, but we can follow that person.
Why don't
Yeah,
you
I
write
just
some
kind of
biblical
jump
fan
in.
fiction?
Yeah.
I jump in and I'm a little bit of colour and light in a show.
Yeah.
So I don't know, spoiler alert, the second half half of this show gets a bit dark.
So
Why?
You bring
What
it to life.
happens?
You bring it
what
to
happens?
life.
What happens? So I know I heard was it was,
No spoilers.
I heard
No
it was one of the most full-on accidents at Bunnings.
Yeah. But you know what? They'll beat it by 10%.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it. Jesus Christ Superstar's been on
No.
for 1,000
yeah,
years
it's a-
all over
it's
the
a
place.
classic.
It's such a big show.
Yeah.
So it's been around
big
since
show.
you were 4?
No, me. And not in a good way.
Reuben, I was just asking you about Fringe as well, because you've been so busy over here in a short period of time, and then you're moving all around Australia. Obviously, the show's going everywhere.
Yeah, name a
Are you-
pie.
are
I've got
you-
my finger in it.
Literally. Are you ever home? And yeah, what's
Do
your
you have a
schedule?
home?
What are you
For tax
running from?
reasons, I cannot answer that. No reviews. No, I'm on the road. So once I knew I was going onto this tour,
Yeah.
I had a place in Melbourne. I just lived inside a soy latte. And then I thought, well, I'm going to go on tour to the UK. I'm going to run off and do some shows there. I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to go and do this. So I just gave up my lease.
Reuben, there's a rental crisis. You're never going to be able to get another one.
I think I might have screwed myself. Talk about clutching pearls. I'm not going to get a pearl necklace. I'm going to get a Pearl Harbour.
Where do you get things delivered?
Does that choke me?
Yeah.
Where do I get things delivered? This is so showy.
Yeah.
Stage door. I get everything. All my mail gets delivered to stage door.
The back
Are
door.
you serious?
Oh, what else?
Is that the yes?
Yeah,
okay.
the back. So,
Sure. What do
sorry.
you mean?
Stage door is like where the artists leave at the end of the show is not through the public. We leave
No.
through kind of like a little
Yeah.
secret entrance.
Yeah.
That's right.
But that's also a postal entrance, and
Yes.
so that's where like your
And
visitors.
that's where all your
come and
fans hang out by
Correct.
stage door to get a glimpse of the superstars.
That's where usually things go out, but instead they're going in, Sean.
I get the analogy.
There's some people haven't
so
even
subtle.
had a croissant yet, and there is so many anal jokes in this show. It feels like I'm in one of my shows.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it is Anal Wednesday, so I mean, it's just we lean into it.
I am stealing that.
Don't
It's going
say,
into my
don't
show.
say
Get no
lean
writer's
into
credit.
it.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
There is a new show. It features Kate Ritchie
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Nazim Hussain, who are acting out
Yeah.
scenarios like a sitcom as parents. But then there is Maggie Dent, who is the
Maggie
parenting
Dent.
expert
Hey, we
this
know
country
her.
loves. Good morning, Maggie. It's good to talk to you again.
I just wish they'd given me a TV gig when I was a lot younger. But today's tweens and teens are living in a very different world
Yes.
to what their parents have had. So what might have worked back then, and it's like we've always had a generation gap, but this one's a chasm. And I wasn't going to say yes, but when I saw they were going to sitcom it so we can laugh like hell
Yep.
at the, oh my God. And I worked it out later that most of the production team got teenagers. That's why they knew exactly
Yes.
Right.
what to put in the sitcoms. And you will laugh. And I think, seriously, I think we need to sit on the couch with our tweens and teens. And also, if you've got grandparents, because Nan features quite significantly.
Okay,
in the
that's
show.
going great.
Yeah.
And then we're going to cringe, we're going to laugh, and then we're going to have some really powerful information that we both need to know on how we can help our kids go over this big bumpy bridge to adulthood
Yep.
as safely as possible with being realistic that it's always been bumpy. One more step I think that we have to recognise, I think this captures it well with that, sitcom experts, let's
Yes.
go back then,
Yep.
is that every now and then they do a couple of things in the scenes where the actual tween and teen have actually got more information that's more accurate than what Nan and Mum and Dad do.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes, you can't just expect to sit down and have a sex chat with a 10 and 11-year-old now because, over 40% have been watching porn. So
Yes.
it's not going to be
They've already
terribly
Googled
helpful.
it.
So you watch porn
So we
together
have
and then talk about it afterwards as a family? No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But that's one of the things I think they do beautifully is that we both have to sort of sit there and work through some of these challenges because I can tell you now that if you want your tween and teen to become the sort of adult who can cope in our world, we need to basically have boundaries and there will be consequences and it's not a very
Preach.
pleasant thing, right?
Yep.
We need it isn't.
It's
You're
hard,
not going to
yeah.
get what
No.
it is, but
Yeah.
exactly you learn to respect boundaries outside of the workspace. And I think the other one is it is the digital space and the
Yeah.
damage and harm it's done to our
100%.
kids. And you can't even see it's happening because they're in their bedroom.
That's right.
100%.
We didn't grow up with it as well. We can't
didn't grow
connect to
up.
it because it was you're talking about the gap. our parents had landline, we had landlines.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Then that gap happened, and then suddenly the technology just went gangbusters, and no one had grown
look
up with it. No one had seen what's going to become of it.
Yeah.
And it's a limbo.
Even if you had a computer as a kid, and if you're from our generation, it was in the family room,
and you were the only one on the street that had it.
Yeah, and you had to take turns. Yeah.
And I think the other bit is adolescence is an emotionally volatile time, and really they are psychologically more fragile than we can actually understand. And so they're living in a world that's showing them how to be awful and disgusting and the violence. And we know that those algorithms are targeting boys and girls differently to make sure they feel awful so that the big tech makes money.
Yes.
And I think we need to make them outraged because of that sort of thing. But I think what we do beautifully in it is we touch on all those big hot topics that parents are confused. And also, sadly, they don't have time to read my books because I write such fat books, even though they have a good index. So if you've got a team that you're finding difficult, help me help my team. I give you
that's a good one, Maggie.
Yeah.
And your books aren't fat; they're big boned.
Don't fat shame your
I think what it is. I think what it is the outside world can now get into your house so much easier than in our day because your parents were the guardians.
That's true. That's
true.
true.
They're not anymore.
Oh.
And
I think the bit that I loved about the balance, so that we can laugh at a sitcom, but I love that we land back on a slightly older teen and their voices on how they see the world, what they think their parents are doing okay. And I think we need that too, because most parents are doing a great job but feel like a lousy parent because, they got yelled at last night or the door slammed in their face or the rolled eyes. That's actually kind of normal behaviour for an emerging adult.
Yes.
You're not doing a lousy job and your kid's not lousy.
Yep.
And that you only have to get it right around 30 to 40% of the time and they're still going to end up okay.
Geez, thank God.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
Well, he's the Prince of Perth, isn't he?
Oh,
Perth boy done good.
He has to fight Troy Sivan and Harley Reid for that.
Joel Creasy, hello.
Good morning. Good morning. How's it going?
We are wonderful. We noticed when Nathan mentioned the Gazman shirt that there was a bit of a reaction coming from you when we saw you on the screen.
Watch your back, Nathan. I will be in Perth very soon. This ain't Gazman. No, hey, I'm not going to yuck someone's yum if Gazman's your thing, but this ain't Gazman.
I know. I did speak out of turn. It's worse.
I thought you said it's worse. No, you are in trouble.
Well, sort of. Did you hear something terrible though, Joel? Because we've been running the ads here, and we discussed it after the ad. Rivers is shutting down. Rivers.
And Miller's.
And Miller's Fashion Club. Miller's Fashion Club.
Oh, I'll have to go do a big shop before they go under.
No, I'm just worried about all the people of my mum's age that want to appear to look like a table. What are they going to do? It's so sad.
Do you want to know something really nasty? Once a comedian asked me, we were backstage or doing rehearsals for the Melbourne Comedy Festival Gala, and they said to me, this is the sort of friend I am. They said to me, should I wear this shirt? And I said, absolutely, you look gorgeous. And they got trolled the hell out of them.
Oh, you know what?
Were you being polite, or you could see that it wasn't a winner, but you were just being polite?
I was setting them up. I wanted to have the best gig of the night.
Good work.
It is terrible when you're backed in to give someone a compliment, right? So a little while ago, and this woman was lovely, I want to preface it to that, but I went to a certain restaurant opening at a suburb deep into Perth. No. We're not talking the city, Joel.
It's in the burbs, man.
No, we're deep in the burbs. Anyway, and then I've been introduced to the staff, and this woman comes out that I think she's running the kitchen, and she said, do you like my tattoo? And then I said, where? And then I looked down, and then she had jeans on, and then just out of her jeans was a penis hanging out of her jeans.
What?
That's the tattoo.
A penis hanging out of a thing. And then I went, oh, that is great. What do you say to that?
Wow, it's beautiful. It's girthy.
She goes, when people, it's a joke, I tell people how hung I am. And I went,
sorry, a woman. Okay.
A woman.
How much ink was required?
Well, that's a really good question. Who did she model it off? When she took the picture into the tattoo?
That's the bigger question, isn't it? Now, Joel, you're bringing another stand-up tour back to Perth. Is all new stuff?
I am all new, and the great thing about Perth is it's towards the end of the tour. So
okay, you were perfect.
Can't you bother?
Yeah, Adelaide. No, it means the show hopefully
Polished.
works by then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my 15th solo stand-up show, which is
Amazing.
I know, it blows my mind. I'm 21. Actually, a photo came up of
21.
me the other day, a memory,
Yeah.
when I was a supernova now.
Yes.
When I was with you guys, and a photo of me and beautiful Donna Hayes standing together doing an OB that we did, I think down in
Crown, was it?
somewhere
No?
like that. Yeah.
Yes, it was Crown.
Crown.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know she's never come back since then? And I'm just wondering,
Oh,
did you have
wow.
any influence on that?
What did you say to her?
No, I don't think it was me. I was busy getting all your coffees. So
I mean, Mum and Dad sometimes they'll turn to people if you're on the television, Joel, and they'll go,
Yeah.
he stripped his clothes off and got dressed into the Nova Boy outfit in our driveway.
all the time.
And that's where your career actually started taking off.
I know, and I don't think I was booked to do it that day. So that was on the,
Because
that
you
was on the house.
were actually booked the street over
That was at their request.
at another house.
Hey, Joel, with your brand new show, where have you been going through all your new material? Have you been doing spots? Nat's been doing a lot of
Yeah,
spots every now and then. I don't know if you're doing new material, Nat, but is this how you work your way through?
I'm so proud of you, Natalie Locke. I've been doing like a lot of the comedy clubs in Melbourne, sort of trying to piece it together and work it out, and find an hour of stand up. And every year you go, is this the year it doesn't work? And
Yes.
And this is the year.
Well, you've run out.
This is the year. No, this is
I've got
exciting.
lots of juicy stories. There's a lot happened last year.
Yeah.
I got engaged. I broke 5 ribs.
Yeah.
I hosted
Yes.
the Real Housewives of Sydney reunion.
Yeah.
Was
that
the
is,
breaking the ribs and getting engaged, is that all in the one thing? One
Pretty
story?
much.
No, Sean.
And I-
No, that was the Real Housewives of the break.
No. What that is, it's a thing that gay people have to watch out for when we're trying on that a new tight mesh singlet.
Oh, yes.
And Gazman.
Yeah.
No, I can tell you, breaking the ribs was less painful than hosting the Real Housewives of Sydney reunion.
Hey, Joel,
No doubt.
Joel, is there somewhere that you haven't gone because you won't go there because you don't know if your comedy will land? Because I grew up.
He's been to Colac.
I
was going to say,
I grew
Colac.
up. I grew up in Kalgoorlie. Have you been to Kalgoorlie yet?
Yes, I've performed in Cal quite a few
Kalgoorlie's
times.
nothing compared to Colac.
I love it. I
Where'd
love
you
gigs
stay?
in Kalgoorlie.
Where'd you stay in Kalgoorlie?
The
Nicest place
the
by the
Four
railway line.
Seasons?
Oh, the Four Seasons near where the cinema used to be.
Yeah, the Condom brand. It was owned by the Condom brand. Would you like me to go to Kalgoorlie?
I do.
Is that what you're
I think
asking?
that would. I just thought if you're scared, I could just go with you and I could take you to the world's tallest bin.
Well, now,
And
the world's tallest bin.
what do you mean? Don't laugh at it.
Well, now that you're such a socialite, going to restaurant openings in whatever suburb, I'd love to go to Kalgoorlie with you, Nathan.
I have to say that was so deep, that suburb in Perth. It was basically Kalgoorlie.
You're a local legend. If I took you, I'd sell out. That'd be great.
No. You don't know who comes from Kalgoorlie. Xena, the warrior princess, worked in the mines there, and it was on. And then
Lucy
remember,
Lawless.
Lucy Lawless.
Oh my God.
And I know.
So she had the broad shoulders.
So she did that there. And then, do you remember a show
Can wield
called?
a pickaxe.
Do you remember a show called Models Inc? Do you remember that?
Yes.
So Models Inc, the blonde Australian girl that was in that, she was from Kalgoorley.
Oh my
So I am nothing.
gosh.
That's a deep cut to find famous people from Kalgoorlie.
Is there a walk of
Dean
fame?
Kemp from the West Coast Eagles.
Oh, he's a champion.
No,
All
there's
the
no
camps.
walk of fame.
All the
mate.
camps.
There's no walk of fame.
Hey, who was the lead actor in Models Inc? He was an Aussie guy too, wasn't he? Joel, do you remember that one?
Wait there,
I
Joel.
just-
Here's this. Let's say she Gay. What was her name? The Australian chick. Go.
Oh,
Go.
gosh.
I know.
I cannot. Give me a hint.
I feel like I don't know what it is. I feel like it starts with a K, a Kimberly,
A
Kim,
Kimberly
I
sounds
want
like
to
a
say
model.
her name was like Trilby or something.
a Kimberly Trilby.
No, that her first name was Trilby.
Trilby. No, I
'Cause like
don't
a
think it was.
hat.
No, I think it was like a. I think it was a K. It was a hard K.
This is a great interview, isn't it? We're just like remembering
No, I like
letters of the alphabet.
This is our show every afternoon, 4 to 6. So
I know.
I feel
Okay,
right at
Amy.
home.
Amy, what is it? What is it?
Kylie Travis.
Kylie
Travis.
Travis. It was a K. It was a hard K.
And a true at the end.
Kylie
Oh,
Travis.
let's bring it back.
Oh
Let's
my
bring it
God,
back.
yes.
Hosted by you and I.
I'm so excited.
No,
Joel.
you're the only two people interested in it.
No, Joel. There's heaps of gay people out there.
Is there? Okay, I'm definitely throwing Kalgoorlie.
What do you think about Kylie's concert? Because some people are saying it's the best thing ever. Other people are saying it's just an old chick dancing in front of a big screen.
How very dare they?
Yeah. How do you feel about the disparagement
Well,
of Queen Kylie?
I'm you know, my heart goes padum for Kylie. I'm thrilled Perth got her first. I'm stoked. I'm going Friday night, so I'm beside myself. Kylie could stand on stage and just you know, like, and not move, and I'd cry for 3 hours.
Well, that's what Mariah Carey does now.
I went to Mariah Carey in New York, and it was one of the most. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I think she did "All I Want for Christmas" about 20 times, and that was it.
I mean, you've got it's a crowd pleaser. Why would you like Daryl Braithwaite doing horses for 45 minutes?
He's actually given that up, hasn't he? Has he given that up?
If anyone wants to see Mariah Carey in her performance lately, literally there's dancers like doing their thing, and these people are dancing, and then she's just like she is walking like she's shat herself.
We all know that one.
But that's what Joel does when he comes out on the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I have had. Why am I telling you this? I did have an issue once when I went on far too much of a hardcore diet, and I was hitting the acai berries too hard, and I might have. I was getting on a train to go to Em Luciano's house. Oh, how's that for a name drop? Yeah. And I might have had an issue at Southern Cross Station in Melbourne where I had to pop into a cafe and change my pants.
And throw them out. Did you just throw them out?
Yeah, I put them in the bin.
Yeah. But do you put it in that bin, or do you take it down to a bin down the road?
No, I put it in that bin.
No, yes,
Why am I telling you this?
Why are you telling us this?
I'm trying to sell tickets.
If you do want tickets, he's playing the Regal Theatre Super Venue.
It's almost sold out.
Saturday, 17th of May. Buy your tickets fast because it's almost. Are you going to add any dates?
Yeah, absolutely. If all your listeners buy tickets right now, I'll add a date this afternoon.
Fantastic. And also, everyone,
livenation.com.au is where you can do that.
And Joel, do you promise to give someone their money back for the first person in the crowd that shits themselves?
Oh, of course, absolutely. I can't have them stinking up the room.
No. It's a classy venue.
Yeah, it's like a burp to a chef. If you poop your pants laughing so hard, I'll be stoked.
Yeah, for sure.
But prove it and get your money back.
What an honour.
Prove it.
And of course, Ricky Lee, Tim and Joel this afternoon on the Nova Network around the country.
Brought to you by Gazman. Thank you so much, Joel.
Love your work, Joel.
Love you all. Love you all.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
We're talking about those people in your life that steal your ideas. A shout out to my bestie Justine, who whenever we go out to eat, she says, what are you having? And I say, I'm going to have this. And she says, that's what I'm having. Every time. Emily's in Melville. Hi, Em.
It actually happened to my cousin.
Okay.
So she's dreamed of having a cream miniature dachshund for as long as I can remember.
And who hasn't?
Hold on, a cream. Where do you get a cream one from?
Oh, I don't know. I think
they're chicken sausages, Sean.
Have you ever seen a cream dachshund?
Anyway, she had a name picked out. She wanted to call it Ralph.
Of course.
Great. Yeah.
She had it all planned. She's at family dinner with her boyfriend's family.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend's brother's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sitting there kind of giggling to each other, going, ha, ha, ha. Like, everyone knew that she wanted a miniature dachshund.
And not just that, the vanilla-coloured one or the cream-coloured one. I mean, that's very specific.
And
very.
The name.
Yeah.
And
Ralph.
so she turns her phone around and there's 3 miniature dachshunds and they go, oh, its name is Ralph.
No. So, okay. Does the relationship exist where someone they just had to go to them straight there and then, or were they shocked? What happened?
I would have thought miniature dachshunds that are that sort of colour are quite hard to come by.
Oh, massively.
Yeah. So straight away.
And also not cheap.
Yep.
Sarah is in Padbury. Hello.
I stole the idea, actually. I'm the naughty one.
Criminal. Okay, talk us through it. Is it a cream dachshund?
It's not.
Is it a Saberloo fig ficus? All right. What happened?
When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was getting a short list of names, and I had 3 that I really liked, and then my brother said, "Oh, I really like the name Charlotte."
But wait, wasn't it Nathan, Nat, and Shaun? Is that were the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably were.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And I thought, I really like that, and he wanted to name his daughter if he ever had one, Charlotte. But I thought, no, stop it. I'm having a daughter first. I'm going to do it.
Yes.
And I did. Her name's now Charlotte, and she's 4 years old.
So Charlotte, who was born into a criminal investigation, is full on.
Yeah.
Your brother, what did he say about the stealing? Because it's an interesting one, isn't it? The stealing of a future name.
Yes, and he might never have a
Does
daughter.
Does a current baby outweigh the wanting of a
child.
future name? All right. So what did he say? What did he say?
He never actually really said anything.
That's 'cause he
He
hates you.
still hasn't had any kids to this day.
That's because he was going to have one named Charlotte. Now he can't. So
Well, that's right. Now I've taken it.
Brent's in Byford. Hello, Brent.
Hey, g'day. How you doing?
Hey, good, Brent.
Brent, we know what you're going to say.
okay, Brent. Why don't you?
Have you
tell us
stolen an
a story?
idea? Have you, Brent?
Have you stolen an idea from three beautifully innocent, gorgeous, actually supermodel-looking people?
Well, innocent's a bit of a stretch, but I stole your idea for the deep fried vanilla slice.
Oh,
You guys
mate.
made me rich.
Mate,
We've heard about it so many times.
We told about someone recently. Who did
Yes,
we
we
tell?
did. We
Who
had
did
somebody
tell?
in
So,
here.
Brent, run us through it.
this
So,
week?
you heard us when we did Deep Friday. We deep fried a vanilla slice.
So on Deep Fridays, everybody, every Friday we would deep fry anything, right? And then we'd see if deep frying it made it better, and there was some amazing
Usually it
successes.
did.
And the vanilla
The
slice
slice was an absolute
was
winner.
next level. So then, Ben, go for Brent, go for your story. Go.
Yeah, so, exactly what you guys said. I was frying donuts at the time in my bakery and thought, I was making vanilla slice next and fried it up, see what happens.
And?
Sold heaps of them.
Yeah, people still coming
Yes.
for him now, Brent, obviously.
Well, no, I've actually closed the business down.
Have you?
Yeah.
Because you made too much money.
I made too much money. So I didn't miss it. But I actually did a cookbook just recently, and I put it in the cookbook.
Brent!
Did you cite your source?
That's our intellectual property.
Did you cite our
Well,
source?
no, because I called it deep fried snot block. So
You are an arsehole.
the snot box over and
Are you
over.
kidding me? You can't, not even like things in Nat Shaun. That's what we wanted.
Hey, by the way, Brent, you haven't contacted us to this. We've heard so much about this snot box up
Yes.
in the hills all the time. People will go and past.
No. I apparently bought a boat. Where's our bloody boat ride, mate? Sean needs a boat all the time.
three boats.
He bought 2 boats, Sean.
You at least take us out on one of your boats.
Jesus, Brent.
Maybe.
That was a good one.
The third boat.
Gee, we've been talking about that for years since we came up with that.
Don't you dare give him the prize.
I'm not giving him the prize. Don't worry about that.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean in podcast form.
Well, it is the Roto Swim tomorrow. I know this comes around annually, and it seems to be coming around very, very quickly. All of a sudden,
Well,
it's
because
a
he
day
keeps
out.
signing up for it.
Well, this year, Natalie, I wanted to make sure that I did something different. Last year, I was able to swim it solo, Caitlin, but this year I wanted to do with my family. And in particular, I've got 3 boys, so I was thinking this would be perfect for a team event.
Were they that willing, though?
Not at the time.
Let's check in
and
with them.
We will.
No, we weren't.
Okay, so this is Cooper, everybody, and Lachlan is here as well, my older son. But we'll start with you, Coops. You only just came on board because you weren't doing it at all.
Yeah, Dad's been going on about it since November and just chatty. But I was never willing to be a part of it because, nothing for me.
But I've heard rumours that you're actually the best swimmer in the family.
Yeah, I am the best swimmer in the family. Nah. And then, he told me at the end maybe I couldn't do it. Maybe I wouldn't be able to do it. So then, I had to prove him wrong.
So you fell for the old good mind game, reverse psychology.
Yeah,
Come on, Cooper, I
basically.
expect better from you.
I know. It was bad. But I'm so eager now to get a part of it.
And have you been doing much training? You're just relying on natural talent?
Nah, me and Lockie went for a swim yesterday. We only did.
Oh, so
Okay.
2 days out from the event, you went for a swim?
Yeah, we're moving well.
No, but look, you've been going often.
Yeah, try to get in twice a week. It's been good.
So you were on board from the start then? As soon as your dad said, hey, why don't we do this? You went, yeah, that sounds like a super idea.
Yeah, I've been keen to do it for a while now because
Why don't you have a life?
it got cancelled on me a few times. It got cancelled for COVID, and then last year I was in Japan, so I've never done it.
Right.
So this is I reckon this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Together,
Sorry, Caitlin, we're doing it for Kai Fella as well, which is a great charity. We've been able to raise some money so far, which has been great.
I want to know about the sibling rivalry because if I was to do any type of sporting with my family in particular, it would be about trying to beat each other. Is there going to be some competition, maybe showing up dad in the water and things like that?
I personally think that I'm already so good. So,
yes,
yeah,
there is no competition
for me.
And they realise that, don't they?
You've never swam in the ocean like this, mate. You're going to be shitting your pants.
I am pretty scared, but no. It's a.
Are you like your dad is pretty scared of sharks? Is that a thought that enters your mind?
Not meant to say that word.
That's a swear word.
No. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
You're in your head a lot. That's the only issue.
But there'll be a lot of other swimmers around you. You'll be fine. They'll get picked up first.
What do you think, Lachlan?
With the sharks?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want
all
to
of
bring
it.
that up.
Is it something that's in the back of your mind, or you're just like, oh no, yeah.
I'll be swimming bloody quick. They'll think I'll be getting across first because I'll head down and just go on for it when I'm in the water. But
So
yeah.
what does preparations look like tonight? We talked a little bit about carb loading. Is there going to be shaving down? Are you going to get rid of all the body hair? Because, Sean, your legs
Shaving
are
down
quite
and
hairy.
greasing
I'm
up.
looking, you know, what's the go?
I did a full shave, whole body shave. Because if I'm getting out of that water and there's cameras looking at me, hello.
priorities. Yeah.
I'm wearing budgie smugglers.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
It's going to be a shaving train at home.
Oh, there's nothing that keeps a family together like shaving together.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, Locke, you're talking Mum's already put a slow cooker on?
Yeah, Mum's all over it at the moment. Slow cooker on. Pasta tonight. We got everyone coming over that's in our team, so it'll be really awesome.
So team meeting, team bonding ahead of the big night.
Yep.
One day out.
Yeah. So you had a paddler accompanies you the whole way. They're really the champion of this, aren't they? Because
Peter.
So Peter is your paddler, and he did it last year in horrific conditions.
Yes.
And you managed to get him to come back and have another crack at it.
Poor Pete, he doesn't get a chance to even deny me, and he loves doing it, by the way. Megan always says, you're hanging him out to dry. You always get
Take him for
dragged in
granted.
this, and he's never going to say no to you, but he doesn't ever
That's
say
why you
no.
ask
He
him.
never lets me down. We ask him all the time, and the guys have seen Pete, but it's a shocking job.
Yeah, it's so bad, but Pete's all over it. He loves it. He loves being a part of it.
Because the thing is, you guys get a bit of a rest. So, you know, it's a relay for you. There's 4 of you. So while one's swimming, the other 3 are just resting up. But Pete has to paddle the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably doesn't know that. He probably doesn't know that until this point. He probably thinks he's getting the chop out. So if you're listening,
That's
Pete,
a bad news for
No
you, Pete.
reserve, Pete. You're it.
And just going back to the Kaye fella, I just want to mention C-Link helping us come back from Rottnest, by the way. And I mentioned them earlier on, but they're getting right behind our staff. They've been terrific for us as well.
Yep.
But with Kaye fella, it was amazing when we put it out to people. And I did it low-key to start with. I know we've talked about it, Nat, a couple of times. But straight away when I put it out, the people that are from the Allen family and Melville Mazda team, they all jumped on like within a heartbeat, right? And Access Hire Group, they did it as well. My friend John Jones, who just got right behind it because it's been really important in his life. But Lachlan's work has as well. Lachlan?
Yeah, at Lockton, I gave a bit of a spiel to the team and everyone got on board. It was awesome. And no, they do great things and they're heavily intertwined to the East Fremantle community. So all our friends and everyone gets behind it as well. So it's been really unique.
Yeah, it's a foundation that champions suicide prevention, and they do amazing work in that space. They've been doing a really good job.
And Nat, you asked me a couple of times who's put up the links. Well, normally I go to Cooper for the social media stuff. So, Coops, you got involved?
Yeah, I did. You know, it's an incredible foundation to swim for. Like, I feel very honoured to do this swim for them. But, yeah, we have raised, I think, nearly $13,000.
Wow.
Which is pretty amazing. Yeah, very excited.
That's really good. Yeah, as soon as I saw that your dad had a link in his bio on Instagram, I know he didn't do that. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's Cooper and Lachlan. I was getting them to do a lot of stuff. And Nat put in $100 and donated to us. It's great, just so she can say.
Yeah, so I said, go McManus's, and really that was just so I could write anuses, which I was so happy with at the time.
A flock of McManus's and
That's
anuses.
right, you can't have too many.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge with the boys.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.